Well, Courtney Brown and Sarah Faye Couts are social workers with University Health and Wellbeing's Counseling and Psychiatric Services, better known as CAPS, here at Michigan State University. And for the second year, University Health and Wellbeing and CAPS is collaborating with the Michigan chapter of Foundation for Suicide Prevention, AFSP, to hold an Out of the Darkness MSU Campus Walk on April 14th. Courtney and Sarah are co-chairing the walk this year, and it's a pleasure to welcome them both to MSU Today. Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Russ.
Give us a bit of your backgrounds and why you're so passionate about this topic.
So Courtney and I both we're both social workers, primarily do counseling with CAPS. We both have positions embedded within different campus neighborhoods. So Courtney's over in South neighborhood, I'm over in East campus. And so our offices are actually right in the dorms. So we see students where they live. So we are, I feel like, right in the heartbeat of campus. And so we see the ins and outs of students' lives every day. So I think that's something that's very unique to our positions, to be so close to where the students live and go to school.
The neighborhood concept is really a good one.
Yes, absolutely. And we're hoping to grow it.
Yeah, okay. And Courtney, how about you?
I guess just not to echo what Sarah said, but yes, been here about five years and maybe a few months now, and just very passionate about this initiative and bringing a lot of community networking, community partnerships, just community everything to our campus community as well. So we're excited.
That's great. Well, let's frame the issue as we said in the notes. Suicide is not something people like to talk about, but just frame the issue for us and talk about suicide.
Yeah. So each year on campus, unfortunately, we lose students to suicide. That isn't the only reason we lose students, but it's something I think has a ripple effect on our people who are close to the student that passed away, in our immediate neighborhoods, throughout campus, and the East Lansing community as a whole. So whenever we lose a student, there's a lot of questions about why and could this have been prevented. I will speak for myself, but I'll let Courtney also echo that I think there's still a lot of stigma around suicide and suicide prevention, and people are afraid to talk about it. And it feels like a taboo subject. So I think this is just one way that we can bring more awareness and hopefully open up conversations more.
A lot of conversations on the walk. Courtney?
So also add to that, we've also worked with students who may have lost parents or other loved ones due to suicide as well. So just to let them know that you don't have to suffer alone. We have a community here to stand with you, to support you, or to just see that you're not alone. And it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to process how you may need to process. But we're also here to provide you with other initiatives and just support as well.
Yes, and we should probably say before we go any further, if you or someone you know is in a crisis, please call 988 or text TALK to 741-741.
That's it.
Say more about how this is just a topic we don't want to talk about, and what should people keep in mind about it?
I think people view suicide as just being a super dark thing. Suicide is very complex. It has a lot of different emotions. It impacts us all differently. We see it on the news. We see it in movies. We don't talk about it, but talk about it. Sometimes we label it as different words when the real word we call it is suicide today. No one wants to talk about it because no one really understands it, and there's no real definition as to why. And I think just not having that true answer as to why someone wants to complete suicide leaves us with an unsettling feeling in our stomach.
Right. And just to add on to what Courtney was saying, it is the second leading cause of death for people ages 15 to 24. So that's a lot of the students that live on our campus fall in the age range. A lot of folks may have depressive symptoms that come and go. That's very common with depression. And one of those symptoms can sometimes be suicidal thoughts. And they can range in severity to, maybe just thoughts about I don't want to be here, to more concrete planning and steps towards action of taking someone's life. So there's a wide variety, there's a wide range. And I think sometimes when someone thinks about someone who has suicidal thoughts, I think of someone who has a very active plan, and that's not always the case. Right. So we just want to, again, through the walk, the Out of the Darkness walk, help people realize that this is a common problem that we need to address, and we need people to feel like they can reach out when they need help.
And what are some of the warning signs and what might lead to suicide?
Yeah, so generally, again, it can vary from person to person. Some folks may feel that there's no sense of purpose in their life. You may hear people talking about wanting to die, even sometimes in a joking manner. You may see people start to give things away or isolate themselves. There may be a change in their behavior, which may look like,
Isolation.
Thank you.
Avoidance.
Isolation. Increased substance use, something like that. Just generally not caring. Sometimes, again, a big marked change is usually an indicator that something is going on. So that's something to definitely look for. But those are some of the reasons that you might look for someone with maybe some suicidal thoughts or ideation.
Or just not knowing how to cope with life. Oftentimes, I think that's why we really want to push or shed light on prevention and what that can look like, whether that's reaching out to a friend, safety planning and what that may look like or what that may need to look like, encouraging people to reach out to loved ones or friends or spiritual groups if that's something that they feel like they can really get grounded in as well. So just what is prevention and what does that mean to them and how can we support them in that?
And I think one of the things you want to make clear is if you suspect someone is maybe contemplating suicide, talking to them about it does not make them necessarily want to do it more.
Correct. That's an absolute myth that bringing up, asking someone about suicidal thoughts may give them the idea, and that is absolutely not true. So you can be as direct as if someone's talking to you about their feelings of hopelessness and you're noticing changes and you think they're kind of hinting at they want to tell you this, you can directly ask them, are you thinking about ending your life? Are you thinking about hurting yourself? Things like that. You may find people sometimes will even have an emotional release when you ask that question because they're relieved that you asked. You're not going to plant an idea in someone's head. If someone is thinking about this, you're probably not the first one to bring it up.
And are there maybe some other facts about suicide you would want to reinforce, or are there some other myths to dispel?
I mean, I definitely think something that's important to know is suicide touches all different groups of people, men, women, younger folks, older folks, the LGBTQ plus community, people of color. No one escapes, unfortunately, this concern. It is a problem that's escalating on campuses across the country. We are in a mental health crisis, and going to college, sometimes we'll have parents tell me, or they'll tell their students, college is the best time of your life. And I certainly hope you have some good times in college, but I also know it's incredibly stressful. Going to college isn't the same as it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. There are a lot of stressors for our students, and they're trying to manage all of these things. And I hate to tell you, but you all know there's a lot of perfectionism on this campus. So that adds to the extra stress as well. So,
and they're also experiencing so many first time away from home, first time experiencing grief away from home. And what does that mean? And what does that look like? Who can I turn to? First time gaining weight for many that they are able to recognize it and see. And what does that mean for my body dysmorphia? The list goes on.
And is it true that the social media can contribute to this issue?
That is a whole nother
As
podcast.
Courtney shaking her head.
But absolutely.
Yes.
It reinforces that concept.
But let's talk about April 14th and the Out of Darkness MSU Campus Walk. Tell us about sort of the theme, why you're doing it, what we hope to have participants.
Yeah, so we definitely hope, Courtney and I and our committee and all of our sponsors and our registered walkers are hoping you will join us on Sunday, April 14th. The walk itself starts at noon. However, registration opens at 11. You can certainly register ahead of time and we'll just check in when we get there. It's in People's Park, which is it's between the International Center and Wells Hall. So it's right on the Red Cedar River. I'm hoping it'll be a gorgeous day. And we'll have a lot of different activities.
The theme of the walk for this year is Hope Starts Here. And I think that's a wonderful theme to just know that there is hope at the end of the day. So I just want to make sure that we reiterate that message that hope starts here. Hope starts here today. Hope starts tomorrow. And we just hope that you will continue to keep that in the back of your mind.
And there's no entry fee, right? But donations are encouraged and accepted.
Absolutely. All proceeds go to support the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention to help them with their initiatives to bring awareness across the world. But really focusing on how can we use that partnership to benefit the students within our community as well with their various resources also.
Absolutely. So these are, like Courtney was saying, these are programs we want to bring to our campus to supplement the things we're already doing through University Health and Wellness, CAPS, other of our partners that do this kind of work, our student orgs, things like that. This is just a supplemental program. It's always good to have new information, a fresh set of eyes, and different programming reaches different people.
And even if someone can't make it to the walk but is interested in the cause, donations can be made, correct?
Absolutely. There's campus walks, there's community walks all around. So if you're not able to make it to this walk, but you're able to find one within your community, you can go on their website at afsp.org and look for your local chapters or local events that are happening within your community. Just because we're hopefully advocating for the resources to come to our campus community, this information can benefit us all. You may have a student that may learn something, but they may have a friend at home that may not feel comfortable having that information, but they may get some inspiring words that they can really utilize to kind of support their friends in need, or sit with them to make that phone call if they do feel like they can benefit from some additional supports as well. So this is definitely a collective, global wide thing that we're really trying to push for prevention.
Imagine the great conversations that happen on the walk. It's just really
Absolutely.
Probably more valuable than the money in a way. You know,
It's definitely a moving experience.
Absolutely.
I think I've cried about 6 times just
Yeah.
greeting people upon registration. So it's definitely a monumental moving
Yeah.
event.
That's a really good point. I feel like it's, even though it's a difficult subject and it's sometimes hard to talk about, and a lot of us are involved for very personal reasons, it is also a very joyous event. And I know that may sound odd, but coming together and uniting with other people who understand a little bit about what you're going through and spending that time with them is an amazing feeling. And I don't think I mentioned this when I was describing the walk, but everyone wears these Mardi Gras style beads, and each color you choose to wear represents something different, maybe the loss of a friend or a partner or a child or something, something like that, for example. So sometimes you look around and folks are wearing several different strands of beads. So suicide has touched their lives in several different ways. And it's pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing time. I know that might sound odd, but you might have to be there to fully appreciate it.
And you provide the beads then?
Yes, the beads are free. And like you said, this is a fundraising event, but please come and register. And we will have some therapy dogs there and some snacks and some other activities as well.
And are you still looking for some sponsors, though? Corporate sponsors? Or are you all filled up, or you'll take as many as want to help?
All filled up officially with the sponsors,
Great.
But we would love for corporate people to donate as well. So donations are definitely greatly appreciated to continue this cause and just to let people know that we see you. So although we may not call you out directly or it's not an official counseling session, we see you and we stand with you.
I can't imagine a more worthy cause.
You see, I'm getting teary-eyed already.
That's right.
This is serious.
So what haven't I asked you that's important? What do you want to make sure people joining our conversation know about the walk, but also just the topic of suicide?
I've heard a couple people on social media say this recently. Michael, the librarian, for example, always says, please, I see you, you're strong. Please just give it one more day. So if you're struggling with thoughts and you're feeling like, you need help, please just give yourself one more day, reach out for help. Again, you can always call 988, which is the suicide prevention number. You can also text the word TALK to 741-741, and someone will be glad to help you.
May I remix that statement, Sarah, if you don't mind?
Yes, please.
You don't have to be strong every day. I don't think many of us are strong every single day. Sometimes just being a human can be exhausting. So if you need to venture off to your imaginary world to be a robot, because being a robot for the day gives you that encouragement to continue to go on. If being an artist for the day gives you that encouragement to keep going on, just keep going, and that's all we need. We have support for you. There's support in our community for you, and you have a whole campus community that loves you, that sees you, and that wants you around to fulfill whatever you feel like your purpose in life may be. So we want to see that and celebrate you. So please come out.
Well said, Courtney. So again, the best website is going to be afsp.org if you'd like to donate. And by all means, please consider getting involved in the Out of Darkness MSU Campus Walk on April 14th.
Absolutely.
Do we have a minute to thank our sponsors?
Please.
I would like to give a special thank you from the bottom of my heart to just a few of our sponsors that I think allowed us to ask for donations within a short time frame. So thank you all for making it happen. Special shout out to Compassionate Care Counseling and Wellness, Olive and Ivy Company and their team. Shout out to you all. The MSU Hillel Jewish Student Center, MSU's James Madison College. I love you all. MSU Institute for Quantitative Health Science and Engineering, better known as the IQ department here on campus. Special shout out to one of our community partners, High Caliber Karting Entertainment, the Graduate Hotel.
Let's also thank MSU's University Health and Wellbeing. Let's also thank Maury's Grand Ledge, Ford and Lincoln. It's a Ford dealership, and their other branch, which is Maury's Okemos Ford. I would also love to give a shout out to my partner and our family, the Adam Couts family, for sponsoring as well.
And also a special shout out to Revive Mind Counseling. They're based out of Lansing as well as Metro Detroit. And I know we already mentioned University Health and Wellbeing, but I feel like I want to add a special thank you to them. I'm biased because that is our department specifically, but just for believing in our initiative and wanting to support this to kind of help us bring all of our, 13 departments?
Yep.
To really support not just us, but all of the campus community that we serve. So a special thank you to UHW and our lovely team as well.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us to spread light to this as well.
Happy to do it. So, and as you were saying, you can be sad. We're all going to be sad once in a while, but if you think it's more, please reach out to a friend, somebody, or again, 988 you can call or text the word talk to 741-741. Sarah and Courtney, thanks so much for your work in this area and for telling us about it today.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you for having us.
I'm Russ White. This is MSU Today.